Israel's embattled Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was urged to form a unity government with his chief challenger Benny Gantz. Neither of the political leaders managed to form a government after September's election, the second election this year. Gantz has offered a deal where he would head the government for the first 2 years, while Netanyahu would lead for the final 2. I demand that he respects the loss in the elections, to respect the decision of the legal system, headed by the people he appointed to the post, to respect the will of the majority of people, and retire and fight for his innocence. The citizens of Israel will not be hostages of anyone, not of any leader. Previous attempts to come to a power-sharing agreement have failed, while Netanyahu has vowed to remain in office. The Prime Minister now faces charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust, although he's denied all wrongdoing and denounced the indictments as an attempted coup. But Gantz's offer hinges on Netanyahu being acquitted of the charges against him. Despite the offer, it looks increasingly likely that Israel could head to the polls for a third time in a year.
Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving Prime Minister, faces the greatest challenge yet to his political survival. He was indicted this week on corruption charges after a long investigation. Netanyahu says he's the victim of a witch hunt and denies any wrongdoing. It follows several political blows. He failed to win 2 inconclusive elections this year, and a third looms. Don't expect dramatic developments, though. The legal process could drag on for years. Here's a look at the 3 criminal cases against the man dubbed King Bibi. One alleges that he granted regulatory favours to Israel's top telecoms company, Bezeq, in return for positive coverage of him and his wife Sarah on a news website Bezeq owns. The charges: bribery, fraud and breach of trust. Second up, accusations that the couple received gifts, such as champagne and cigars, from a prominent Israeli Hollywood producer, Arnon Milchan, and Australian billionaire businessman James Packer. Fraud and breach of trust are the charges there. Finally, Netanyahu is suspected of bargaining with the owner of Israel's best-selling daily newspaper, Yedioth Aharonoth, for better coverage, in return for legislation that would hamper the growth of a rival publication. That one carries fraud and breach of trust. Potential sentences, though, are steep. A bribery conviction could send Netanyahu down for up to 10 years, while fraud and breach of trust carry sentences of up to 3 years. Netanyahu isn't legally obliged to stand down unless he's convicted, so much depends on whether his political allies stick by him. Many Israelis are sick of the paralysis, though, and may see this as a chance for Israel to emerge from Netanyahu's shadow.